This video is brought to you by Kyle Marley's Premium Picks on MMA Oddsbreaker. He's up over 20 grand in the last year on $100 bets per unit. His plays for this card are available in the link in the description. Use the promo code PROSPICKS and you'll receive his $7.99 DraftKings breakdown for free with the purchase of his guaranteed full card bet package.
I'm going for Rose. I love Rose. I like what her mindset is. She's been in the game for a while and put in some really uncomfortable situations and come out on top. I'm going for her.
Rose.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of a fight. But Rose, I think it's just gonna have that length. She's gonna have that movement, too much footwork, and she really gonna come into her own. I think that's gonna be one of her kind of coming out parties. Because Andrade is gonna come at her. She's a little pit bull. So if you fighting a pit bull, sometimes you just need a long stick to get them off you.
I actually am going to go for Rose for this one. Even though Andrade has a lot of power in her punches and is just like a little Terminator, I think Rose is smart enough and has the range to stay on the outside and pick her shots. Her jiu-jitsu game is on another level too, so I don't think she's going to be as concerned if it does go to the ground. Like I know Joanna was, she has a lot of anti-takedown, anti-wrestling, but with Rose, I think she'll be very confident if it does go to the ground. So I'm actually going to go with Rose for this one.
Man, I'm going with Jessica Andrade. They're fighting in Brazil. It's extremely tough to fight down there. She's strong as an ox. And, that's another, she has those close range, that phone booth boxing. So I think that she takes it.
Jessica Andrade, she hits super hard, and you can't stand there. And Carolina just went up and just walked in front of her, just got clipped, and you got to respect her. You got to respect her heavy punches. You might think that she looks like she's not the most technical person, but she's got a lot of power. She did fight at 35. She's got a ton of experience. But I do think that Rose Namajunas is more technical, more well-rounded, and I think that she's smart enough to be able to deal with a fighter like her. So I do think Rose is going to come in, going to win that fight.
I feel like Jessica Andrade, I feel like her wrestling's going to be too much, and I feel like she's Rose has been out for a while, and being in Brazil, I feel like Andrade is going to go take that one.
I think Rose is going to take it. Just her style. Andrade, she's great with that pressure, that forward pressure, pushing forward, but that's Rose has that length and she throws a lot of she changes things up a lot, and I don't think a lot of fighters are kind of used to that type of style. And she we've seen it with her last few fights, she hits hard.
I just don't see anybody beating Rose right now. I think Andrade could do it, but she's got to close the distance. And we've seen Andrade fight. Am I forgetting? Joe Jacek before, and been kept at distance, even though she is the stronger, bigger fighter. So I think Rose, if she keeps her at her reach, she'll win.
Jessica's been looking pretty unstoppable with her wrestling and everything. Rose is really smart too, though. She's got that fight IQ. I guess I'll go with the champ for now, but it's definitely a tough one for either of them.
I can't go against Rose. You can't go against somebody with a name like Thug Rose. Come on now. Yeah.
I think that's a great fight. Rose is a nitty-gritty, get in there and just grind it down until she's bloody and gory, which is always entertaining. And, of course, to see somebody that has that adversity within themselves is really exciting to watch. But I fought Andrade, and I know how strong she is, how technical she is, and she's only grown that much more of a fighter. So I'm really excited to see how those two are going to partner up.
I fought Jessica Andrade. We call her, and this is funny, but we call her Little Cyborg because she's like a little cyborg. She's very tough. Rose is extremely tough as well, but I am going to pick Jessica Andrade on this one.
Yeah, man, I'm a really big fan of Rose. I've always been a really big fan of Rose and her fighting style, her demeanor, just her personality, the person she is, and I really love it. It's one of the biggest things I love about her so much. But Jessica is really up and coming. I mean, she's got some heavy hands, and I'm excited to see how that kind of plays out, But I'm pulling for Rose. just like I always do. I don't know, I might be a little bit biased, but yeah, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to that fight for sure.
Rose is more technical, but Jessica Andrade puts on a lot of pressure, you know? And I feel like Rose can be broken. She can be emotionally broken. And if Jessica Andrade can pressure in and really, you know, physically and mentally break her, I think that can happen. You know, because I've seen it, you know, Rose breaks herself. And that's no disrespect to her, but that's just what I've noticed. But, I mean, she is so good. I mean, she works for women, she's solid. So her technique is some of the best. Again, you know, she's a solid striker, and she's solid on the ground, and she's a well-rounded athlete. She knows when to pressure and when not to pressure. And she's got timing, and she's got power, too, in her strike, so because of her timing. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a good fight. But, you know, if Rose fights the fight she should, then I think Rose can technically pull it off. But she also has to deal with the pressure of Andrade. I don't know if she's dealing with not only the physical pressure, but also the mental pressure.
Oh, you know, I think that Jessica actually will take this fight. I mean, Rose has a lot of confidence coming out of her 2 wins on Joanna, which have been huge, but it's a little bit of layoff. I think Andrade's style of just coming in and keeping that pressure, I think she can close that distance on Rose, and I think that that's probably where the fight will end up.
Rose has a good chance in that fight because I just think Andrade is a beast, and she's a tough fighter, but I think a lengthy striker like Rose I think can be a weakness for her. So I definitely think Rose has a good chance there.